The universe had long since categorized and analyzed humanity, marking them as average on most scales. Strong but not the strongest, intelligent but hardly the most advanced. To the galactic unity, humanity was yet another species they could predict, one more cog in the well-oiled machine of the known universe. But Commander Kiran knew otherwise. He'd witnessed firsthand what humans could do when pressed, something the galactic unity, in all its centuries, had never anticipated. He still remembered the day the Akara invaded Earth's moon colonies. To most species, the situation would have looked like humanity's end. The Akara, with their technologically advanced warships and ruthless precision, had overwhelmed entire planets with ease before. Earth would be no different, or so everyone thought. But humanity had reacted in a way the Unity had never seen. When the news of the Akara's invasion hit the main communication lines, humans across the galaxy did something utterly illogical. They laughed. At first, Commander Kiran thought it was a glitch in the communication feed, a mistranslation or interference. Yet there it was, unfiltered and clear. Entire colonies, even the ones under siege, broadcasted messages of mockery and taunts to the Akara. Videos flooded in of humans playfully taking apart household appliances to show DIY invasion defense tips, or pretending to offer surrender in exchange for free dental. Humanity, in their unique way, wasn't broken, they were defiant. When the Akara demanded a surrender, humans in the Andromeda sector replied by setting up beach parties at their planetary defense bunkers, complete with umbrellas and sound systems. Soon, more planets joined in the bizarre act of defiance, arranging synchronized beach-themed defense lines with inflatable pools and sandcastles. For a species like the Akara, this level of absurdity was unthinkable, offensive even. They had prepared for terror, resistance, and surrender. What they got was sarcasm. Over time, what started as mockery grew into something stranger. Humans of every colony began collaborating, devising unorthodox tactics that ignored every rule of warfare the Unity knew. Commander Kiran watched in awe as Earth's home fleet made feints by rerouting commercial vessels and distracting the Akara with fireworks displays. Ships disguised as cargo freighters ambushed battleships, and remote-controlled drones designed for entertainment suddenly turned into flying decoys that led Akara forces on wild chases through asteroid belts. When Kiran met the Unity's High Council to strategize on how to help humanity, he faced something he'd never experienced in his time as commander: uncertainty. The Council, usually so composed, wore expressions of disbelief. How are they still functional? Councillor Zephyr asked, reading a report that detailed humanity's unconventional tactics. They're sending fake SOS signals to themselves. Indeed, Kiran replied, trying to keep his composure. They say it helps morale to simulate mock rescues. They're staging their own false invasions to train. Why? Zephyr demanded, exasperated. Kiran considered his words carefully. It's how they cope, and cope they did. Where other species might have faltered under the Akara's relentless siege, humanity adapted, innovated, and unified. In a twist, they managed to reroute energy from captured Akara ships to power Earth's orbital defense grid, repurposing enemy technology into new shields and weapons. And through it all, the mockery never ceased. After 8 months of what the Unity dubbed psychological warfare, the Akara finally halted their assault. To the shock of the galactic community, humans had taken heavy losses, but they still held their ground. The Unity expected humanity to sue for peace, but no such request came. Instead, humanity did something even the Unity hadn't considered. They launched an offensive. In the aftermath of humanity's unprecedented defense, the Akara were left scattered and humiliated. Their swift victories had met an unyielding, unconventional foe, and the losses they'd sustained were devastating. Yet, what came next shook the galactic community even more. Earth's coalition of colonies united for an offensive, a phenomenon virtually unheard of in the modern Unity era. Commander Kiran was summoned once again to the Unity Council, where the higher-ups were in an uproar. The councillors, with their lofty ancient robes and decorum, were unused to the idea of such rapid retaliation. "This is lunacy," Councillor Zephyr spat. "Humanity has always been reactive. But an offense? What do they expect to achieve?" Kiran raised a brow, reluctant to share the full truth of what he'd learned. The humans have, shall we say, a unique approach to strategy, one that thrives on adaptability. They're launching an offensive as much for leverage as for survival. They want to ensure the Akara never consider them a soft target again. Councillor Zephyr huffed, dismissing Kiran's explanation with a wave. "We expected human unpredictability, but this is chaos." But chaos, Kiran knew, was precisely humanity's strength. As the days unfolded, human fleets, scrappy but cleverly retrofitted, began to move through neutral sectors toward Akara strongholds. They forged new alliances with species that had once been ignored by the Unity, smaller factions the Council had deemed too inconsequential to integrate. Humans offered them technology, protection, and, most surprising to all, friendship. The Iridian nomads, with their expertise in hyperspace navigation, and the Talars, known for their precision in biochemical engineering, quickly joined humanity's makeshift coalition. To them, humans were allies who treated them as equals. The galaxy watched in awe as, instead of fierce, regulated battle lines, humanity and their allies waged an unpredictable guerrilla war. They hacked Akara communication channels, spreading false signals and decoys. Planets that once belonged to the Akara experienced a human assault like no other. Coordinated drone strikes on power sources, quick, devastating raids on supply chains, and sabotage in places the Akara thought untouchable. It wasn't long before humanity and their new allies reached the Akara core territories. Commander Kiran himself was deployed to observe the situation up close, though he was sworn to neutrality. He could only watch, fascinated, as the combined forces laid siege to one of the Akara's most fortified planets, Kirosa. As the first shots were fired, the Akara Prime Commander, Relkan, appeared on a transmission, his face a picture of rage. "How dare you invade our sacred grounds, humans? Have you no concept of consequence?" To Kiran's surprise, a response came from one of humanity's own, Commander Ellen Park, a rugged, unshakable figure with eyes like ice. "Consequences? You mean like the ones you ignored when you invaded Earth's colonies?" Relkan's eyes flickered, unsettled. "This is madness. No species has ever resisted the Akara Empire this way." Commander Park chuckled, leaning closer to the transmission camera. "You're right about one thing. No one else resisted like this, but humanity isn't anyone else." She turned and gave orders, and in seconds, the human coalition's ships unleashed a well-timed, surgically precise assault, disarming Kirosa's planetary shields. As the Akara defenses crumbled, Kiran couldn't help but admire humanity's approach. They were fearless, driven not just by survival, but by an unyielding drive to protect one another. The Akara soldiers and civilians alike were brought to heel, not through destruction, but through a show of resilience that left no doubt in anyone's mind. Humanity had forged its place in the galaxy. In the aftermath of the battle, Kiran joined a conference with Commander Park and the newly formed Coalition of the Resilient. Park's demeanor was calm, yet intense, her voice laced with purpose. "So, Commander Kiran," she said, acknowledging his presence, "you've seen what we're capable of. Perhaps the Unity needs to reconsider its understanding of human nature." Kiran smiled, bowing his head slightly in respect. "It seems we underestimated you, Commander. Humanity's strength isn't its technology or numbers. It's your unbreakable spirit, your insanity, as some call it. I believe the galaxy will think twice before crossing you again." Park's smile was faint but proud. "Good. That's exactly what we wanted." As the Coalition's victory spread through the galaxy, The Unity Council finally understood that humanity was far from the average species they'd once classified. They were a force of nature, a chaotic, stubborn, fiercely loyal race that defied every expectation. And in this newfound reputation, humanity and its allies carved out a place in the galaxy, forever respected and feared by those who had once thought them weak. If this story carried you to new worlds tonight, consider subscribing. There are more journeys like this one waiting for you whenever you need a peaceful escape.